Well, hi folks, middle of June now. You wouldn't believe it by the weather. So I'll just give you a bit of a roundup, have a walk around the plot, show you how things are going on this year of growing, which for me I think has been the most disappointing ever, due to slugs, cold, all sorts of things. Everything's gone wrong this year. But anyway, we'll just let you see what's going on. One thing that's been okay so far are the peas. I'm quite pleased about, to be honest. Hurst green shaft, so they've actually done okay. Not got any slugs in this part for some reason, whether it's because it's all covered in this membrane and stuff, it tends to keep them off. But anyway, peas are looking quite good. They've all got flowers on now, so that's something that should be quite good. Another thing that's been pretty rubbish this year are the carrots. If you can see, they haven't been eaten by the slugs like these. They were eaten by the slugs earlier, so I've re-sowed these, so they're going to be later. And to be honest, the ones that have not been eaten by the slugs are not particularly growing very quickly, because it's just been so cold. I've never known it as cold. I mean, it's 12 degrees now and it was 10 degrees yesterday, and it's getting down to like 5 degrees at night. You know, it's like bloody ridiculous weather. Anyway, not a lot you can do. Shallots are doing okay. The banana shallots, Zebrona nihilista. But another thing that she's really annoyed me, and I think Marshall's are going to get a strong worded email from me. I always bang on about growing heat treated onion sets because they don't go to seed. Or do they? Well, these have. I bet 50% of me red onions now have gone to seed. There's no point in keeping these, because they won't get any bigger. So they'll get to that, throw up a seed head, go to seed, and that won't grow any bigger. So I might as well pull all the ones with the seed heads out. So that's annoying as anything, especially when, like I said, that's the whole idea of spending more on these onion sets that are heat treated, because it's supposed to have killed the seed head that's in its embryonic stage inside the set. I'm trying to see if there's any of the normal ones that have gone. Oh, there's a few. Yeah, there's a couple of the normal ones go to seed. Red ones are primarily, really, they always go to seed normally. A lot easier than the brown onions, but never had as many as this year, so really annoying that. Garlic's doing okay, no sign of any rust or anything like that. As you can see, it blowing again. So remember, I did an experiment this year where I've done half the bed with fertiliser, onions onwards, half a bed without fertiliser, and as you can see, there's a marked difference. The stuff with the fertiliser on is, well, it's way ahead of the stuff without the fertiliser on. If you can see, look, it's just a different world. You can see it a lot more with the shallots. So that just goes to show you that fertiliser does matter, even if you've got a rich soil like me. So, but I just did it basically for the onions to see whether or not I can grow an onion that's a reasonable size, that's got a thin neck. And if you look at these, I know that's gone to seed. It's got a very thin neck. I know it's a very small onion, but compared to the ones over there, which have a lot thicker necks, which doesn't make them store very well. So it was just a bit of an experiment, so we'll see how it gets on. Obviously they make absolutely pathetic little onions about the size of pickled onions. I won't bother doing it again, but like I said, it was just a bit of an experiment. Right, onto the lettuce patch that's been absolutely decimated by the slugs again. Ones that haven't been touched too much are these red ones. Well, actually so red they're nearly black, and they've grown quite well. As you can see, the Cos lettuce there, they're just full of holes. And a lot of the other ones were just taken off at the stump, so they've just had to grow back from a tiny little stump like this, and they're not growing back very quickly. So anyway, you know, it's one of those things. Like I said, I don't get slugs usually, but I think everybody's got absolutely masses of them this year, so it's not just me. So Rocket didn't seem to get affected though, thankfully. That's ready to pick now, so they mustn't like Rocket particularly. First lot of spring onions coming along quite well. Got some red ones, and you can see down there, I've never grown red ones before, and a few of the normal white Lisbon. Then we've got the second batch in there, and then we've got the giant garlic, which is some I brought back from, that was brought back from France for me. Big purple bulbs, so all growing really well. So see how that gets on. This is the only carrot bed, and this was just an afterthought that's not been attacked by slugs, so yeah, that's a second lot of peas in there, just a short row. And then the potatoes, and even the potatoes are getting eaten to death by slugs. As you can see, the leaves eaten there, but apart from that, they're growing pretty well, I would say. Two lots of new potatoes, Jazzy and Nicola, and Sarpo Blue Danube. So yeah, looking quite good. Grown with that new Spuds Galore fertiliser. So hopefully we should get a nice crop. And as you can see, I'm not short of water. Every single barrel's full to the top. So I don't think we need have any water shortage this year. Planted a few sunflowers. These are the giant ones. Again, eaten to death by slugs. As you can see, that one even more so. So, you just got to go up grin and bear it, haven't you, really? Right then, folks, into this other bit now. Now, ferns and plants like this, they're not affected by slugs, so if you could live off those, you'd be laughing. They're growing really well. So, the leeks that I planted, second lot of peas there, they're getting absolutely battered by slugs again. Sorry for moaning, but it's just getting a bit silly now. So, like I said, I transplanted these maybe a week or two ago, and the slugs took about 30 of these. So I've had to replant some. Thankfully I had some spare, but since I've been up last they've taken another 2 there. So yeah, nothing's immune. So every time I come up, lift things up like this to say, oh look, slugs everywhere, look. Sluggy, sluggy, sluggy. 7 there. And then if you look at my cabbages, absolutely flea bitten, look at them. There's more holes than leaves. And I've never had them like this before, ever. So I know it's not just me, everybody's having problems with them, but it's just getting beyond the joke now. So I come down and I lift everything up like this, like my cloche. Oh look, there we go. Yet more slugs, and a little slug there, look. So every time I come up, I do that, get rid of all the ones I find, put slug pellets down. Yeah, it's just annihilating everything, so hey dear. So we'll just have a look at this bit. This is my pond, a few irises coming out. The wildflower bit, quite nice. All foxgloves come out now. Things like that. Crocosma should be coming out in a bit. A few more foxgloves. So we'll just go into polytunnel now and I'll show you. So one thing I've had to do, because of the slugs, is I've actually planted a load of lettuce in the polytunnel because there's no slugs in here. Well, there are. There's an odd one, but don't get any problem. And because it's so much warmer in here compared to outside, look, these are a month later than the ones outside and they're nearly as big. So yeah, I'm glad I planted them inside, because if I hadn't done, I would never probably got a crop this year. So yeah, doing well. Planted some more in this bit. And that's where the French beans are not growing very quick because they like it a bit warm. But climbing up now. Come to a standstill in the last sort of week or two because it's just been ridiculously cold. So yeah, so that's about it at the moment. Mixed fortunes, I must admit, but I mean, could be worse. I think there's a lot of people have a lot more problems. So that's about it, folks. Little roundup in this unseasonably cold summer or spring, whatever we want to call it. See you later.